22 minutes after the hour, well, President Obama is trying to hammer home his claim that recent scandals surrounding the White House are phony. Take a listen.
With this endless parade of distractions and political posturing and phony scandals, and Lord knows what, Washington keeps taking its eye off the ball.
Almost like a broken record there. So is this a distraction tactic or flat out disrespect to the victims of these so-called phony scandals? Our next guests have been searching for answers from the administration about Operation Fast and Furious after border agent Brian Terry was killed nearly 3 years ago. Joining us now is Brian Terry's mother, Josephine Terry, and his uncle, Ralph Terry. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, Anna.
Now, Josephine, I'm going to ask you this first. When you hear the president say this over and over again, almost like a broken record, you have a message for him. What's your reaction?
Well, I was very outraged when he made that comment because he knew that my son was a victim of Fast and Furious. And if that's not enough proof for him, or he can come to Michigan and I'll take him to the cemetery. I says, and him and I can have a conversation about what a phony scandal is.
And I'll get to a little bit more of this issue, but it has been 2.5, nearly 3 years. Josephine, how are you doing? How are you handling things?
Well, I'm trying to be strong through this whole thing and still waiting for justice, which it's been 2.5 years, like you said. We have the Brian Terry Foundation that keeps me busy, but I'm still fighting in there to get my son's justice he deserves.
He certainly does deserve justice, and we're trying to help you do that this morning. Ralph, I want to bring you into this. What do you think is finally going to be the tipping point for this president? You know, Fast and Furious seem to be almost the beginning of these, and we've had one after the other with the NSA, with the IRS, with the DOJ, spying on reporters. What's going to be the tipping point?
I think we may have already reached the tipping point. The president, with his phony scandal comment, is just off the wall. We at the Brian Terry Foundation are looking for justice, as is the Terry family. You know, the Inspector General had a report out about a year ago that found Eric Holder had no knowledge of Fast and Furious in the beginning. But they did note that 14 of the people in the administration did know in the ATF what was going on. And we'd like to know, as a beginning, what happened to those 14 people? Are they still working with the ATF? Have they been relocated? Have they been promoted? That's the number one question that I have on my mind, among dozens of other questions.
People can't forget about your nephew and your son, Brian Terry, and everything that he went through, and everything that you guys are going through. What answers are you looking for from the president now, Josephine?
I'm looking for who was accountable for this Fast and Furious thing that happened that killed my son. How come they're not brought to justice? How come nobody's standing accountable? And I think my son deserves it. I feel like they did throw him underneath the bus, too.
Josephine, thank you so much for your time today. Ralph, you as well. And we'll continue to follow your story.
We appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.